Anyway, let's continue. Let's get to Laura Loomer, the free spirit, asking Pentagon press secretary questions about the Muslim Brotherhood. And you might be wondering, what the f is Laura Loomer doing in that room? Well, that's because the people in that room have signed a loyalty pledge to the Pentagon. And those who did not sign said loyalty pledge to the Pentagon, which literally includes Fox News, by the way, are not in that room. Yeah, New Media Week at the Pentagon is happening right now, and the DoD has brought in a phalanx of newly accredited members of the press corps, some of whom, Laura Loomer and Cam Higbee, are competing to claim sole possession of the Washington Post's former desk. Note, they aren't the same desk. Here is Laura Loomer saying, the Washington Post and Dan Lamothe used to occupy this desk inside the Pentagon press room. Now it's mine. I can confirm the former Washington Post Pentagon desk is now the Fearless Media desk. This is Cam Higbee of PragerU. And Dan Lamothe actually got in on the fun and said, y'all are going to have to work this one out for yourselves. Because R.C. Maxwell also said, the Pentagon cubicle that used to belong to Dan Lamothe is now mine. Out with the propagandists and hacks. In with the truth tellers who love America. Every single person is saying they got Dan Lamothe's... Joey Manorino is another person that got the press pass, by the way, at the Department of War. This is, look, listen. A lot of the previous mainstream media Department of Defense reporters are already major dick riders of the American State Department to begin with. This is probably the weakest aspect of truth in journalism. It also is some of the strongest parts of at least press history, okay? You have some of the greatest reporters in American history that have come from this background. And in recent years, unfortunately, some of the worst. Having said that, this new devaluation, this new regression that we're experiencing is, and I can't believe I'm saying this once again, completely unprecedented. It's not enough that you have NatSec writers who are already taking the outline of whatever the State Department is saying and repeating it verbatim ad nauseum in the New York Times or in Washington Post. That wasn't enough at all. We have now moved into a new era where even that's not enough. You have to quite literally sign a loyalty pledge to the Pentagon to be in that room. It is so fucked up that even Fox News refused to sign said loyalty pledge that dictated that you cannot report on any information that you get from the Pentagon that the Pentagon doesn't sign off on ahead of time. Per the Associated Press, the Post, Associated Press, CNN, Reuters, and Newsmax were some of the outlets that said Monday that they had requested special access to the Pentagon to cover question and answer sessions, but were denied. Instead, you have Joey Manorino and Laura Loomer and Cam Higbee and all of the annoying reply guys that you see in my replies on Twitter. Now those are the only guys in the Pentagon press pool for the new media hour. I don't know where we go from here, you know? And Ryan Grimm has obviously been pissed off. Cam, you signed a document promising not to do real journalism in exchange for this desk. You are a disgrace to the craft. Nobody cares if you have a degree. Break some news or shut the up. Being given a desk by the government is not an achievement. And then Lance Videos replies, quote, retweets and says, not true whatsoever. We are allowed to ask any questions and post anything we'd like. Stop lying at Ryan Grimm. To which Ryan Grimm replied with, show us the document you signed. Cam Higbee says, Ryan, the full document has been publicly posted since October. Please do some real journalism, Mr. Journalist. Here it is. To which Ryan replied with, Cam, I was hoping you hadn't signed this document, but maybe you hadn't actually read it. You have now promised only to solicit information from approved government sources, promised not to speak to sources who aren't explicitly authorized to speak with you, and have promised not to even post on social media that you are interested in getting tips. At least the military spokespeople are getting paid by the military. You're doing their job for free. You somehow made the mainstream media look good. And it's true. This document was so insane that even Fox News did not sign off on it. I need you to understand something. Fox News did not sign off on this document. That's how psychotic this is. Cam Higbee replies with, well, thank you, Ryan, for proving my point. This says simply that we cannot illegally solicit classified information. which also applied to the old press corps. Okay, man, enjoy whatever it is you think you're doing over there. Just stop calling it journalism if it doesn't involve obtaining and publishing what the government wants hidden. Every day they allow you into the building under these compromised conditions is another day you have debased yourself. It's so crazy. He's like, oh, well, it just means you can't illegally solicit classified information. Yeah, except if they change the boundaries of what they, the government, considers to be illegal. First of all, you mean illegally solicit information? You're a goddamn journalist. You're still gonna get, sometimes you're gonna report on some of the most important signature achievements in contemporary reporting have literally come from hacked materials. Number one. Number two, can you imagine a world where the Republicans would feel some type of way if, for example, the Biden administration took the initiative to refuse to work with reporters that reported on illegally obtained information, like the Hunter Biden laptop saga? Sorry, you can't report on whistleblowers. That we've decided that's illegal. Sorry, you can't report on anything that the WikiLeaks has figured out because that's illegally obtained information. You can't report on the Hunter Biden laptop. You can't report on Hillary's emails. Now, the reason why I brought up Hunter Biden's laptop is ironically because that is something that they were very mad about. That was a huge gripe for Republican reporters, right? For Republican newscasters, for Republican commentators. They were really mad about that. Now they're signing off on now they're basically signing off on access. They're trading off access for conceding ahead of time that they will not be doing any real reporting on any of the shit that they're getting from being inside of that room. It's awesome. It is totally ridiculous. Let's take a look at some of the wonderful minds that are now in the press briefings of the Pentagon now.
Today, now that the president has started the process of designating the Muslim Brotherhood as a foreign Islamic terrorist organization, will the Department of War still proceed with selling F-15 fighter jets to Qatar? And how will they be able to train Qatari pilots at their air base in Idaho if Qatar is included in the designation?
Thank you for the question. We take very seriously our partnerships, and we always do thorough evaluations to make sure that they protect our intelligence, our operational security, and that they serve the best interests of the American people. The U.S. military has a long-standing partnership with Qatar.
Yeah, it's not illegal to get information. It's just illegal to get illegal information. Duh, this is an intelligent point. Yeah, also, it's illegal. What they have decided is illegal information, which is anything they haven't signed off on, then you're not doing journalism. You're just quite literally repeating whatever the press release is. What the press secretary sounds like a child. Hey, listen, it's new media hour at the Pentagon, okay? Excuse me.
And we look forward to continuing that partnership at our air base in Idaho. And I would just point out that for reference, the Mountain Home, Idaho Air Base.
I do love that the contentious reporting, the adversarial journalism taking place here is, why isn't the Trump administration being more Islamophobic? Shouts out to Laura Loomer for that one. Real adversarial reporting happening here, okay? Why can't we just start shooting Muslims or suspected Muslims on crowded American streets? What's happening there? When will we be allowed to start personally deporting random people we suspect of being Muslim?
Just Qataris that train there. There are also Singapore military folks that are there as well. So it is a base that we do a lot of foreign military training, and we are thankful for those partnerships, and we'll continue to evaluate all of those to make sure, again, that national security is protected. That is the Secretary's utmost priority.
But given the fact that the Qatari royal family and Qatar itself is
look at the questioning, now that the Trump administration is correctly designated the Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist operation, why won't they stop training the allied nation of Qatar that happens to house the U.S. Central Command, the entire base of operations for the Middle East region? What is this question? You're just mad because they're Muslim. That's it. That's literally it. Laura Loomer is such a freak. The entire question revolves around, why won't you be more racist towards Muslims, even if they are long-standing security partners.
Big financier, along with Turkey, of course, the financier of the Muslim Brotherhood. Would
Again, Turkey, NATO ally, once again.
that relationship and partnership be reevaluated since the designation could possibly include Qatar?
I'm not tracking any reevaluation at this time, but again, the secretary really keeps national security top of mind, and this administration does as well. So we will always make sure that American assets are protected. I'm
assuming you already covered that video on Laura Loomer trying to flirt. Chatter, I covered that video probably every 6 months for the past 7 years that video has been out.
Your hair and your eyes look so good. You're like beautiful.
Thank you.
You're like an Aryan degenerate goddess.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. You're Aryan too.
I know, but I'm Jewish.
It's okay.
And the Nazis hate me.
It's fun.
The alt-right people want to put me in a gas chamber because they're obsessed with the Jews.
I think they're just memeing on you, but it's okay.
It's okay. Right. I don't care. I love it.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I know. They're just jealous because I have big tits and an Ashkenazi IQ.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah. You got it.
Anyway.
I saw that it was going viral again on Twitter, and I love it. But ironically enough, I had actually recently covered the video on my broadcast right before it went viral on Twitter. Oh, I forgot. There's also this from the new totally independent Pentagon press corps asking if the White House is going to sue the Washington Post for defaming Pete Hegseth.
We were speaking earlier about the Washington Post report concerning the Secretary of War and Admiral Bradley. And my question is, does the Department of War plan on pursuing any sort of legal action against the Washington Post? And what consequences will there be for lying to the American people? Because, of course, the implication there was that Pete Hegseth and Admiral Bradley are war criminals.
Yeah, it is frankly disgusting that the Washington Post would publish something that is so insanely false. And we've seen this from the mainstream media before, right? Anonymous sources that are being quoted that probably have no idea what's going on. And the Washington Post actually went so far as to falsely attribute a quote to the Secretary of War, that he never said. That is preposterous that they would write that and pass that off as true journalism. Thankfully, the New York Times stepped in and corrected the record and let the American people know that what they were publishing was absolutely fake news. So the Washington Post, I think readership should think twice before reading that outlet again. It is disgraceful that they call themselves journalists, and we told them as such, right? We get press queries like we do from all of you. We told them this story was completely fake news on Thanksgiving evening with a 3-hour deadline, and they still published it anyway. It's disgraceful, but thankfully the American people see through it.
Fake news. You missed Matt Gaetz in the press pool? No, I didn't. I saw it.
I have no anything.
Yeah, Matt Gaetz is... Why is Matt Gaetz there? Is he dating this baby? No. She's too old for Matt. Come on now. If she was doing Goo Goo Gaga up there, maybe that would be age appropriate for Matty boy.